Heavy rainfall is expected for parts of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick this morning. The CBC's Alexander Silberman is on the scene in Moncton. Alexander, tell us, what is the situation like in Atlantic Canada right now?
Well, Deanna, you can see here in southeast New Brunswick, the rain is starting to let up a little bit, but not too long ago, it was pretty heavy, consistent downpour here in Moncton. This is just the start of a storm rolling in as some heavy thunderstorms and torrential rain is starting to move through the Maritimes this morning and into the afternoon. We can expect rainfall of up to 10 to 20 millimeters an hour, with up to 35 millimeters an hour moving along with the strongest line of thunderstorms. And with this heavy downpour, a series of warnings and special weather statements have been issued for parts of Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. Let's take a look at those now. So northern and central New Brunswick and central Nova Scotia are under a rainfall warning. There's some areas also under a severe thunderstorm watch. There's also a special weather statement in effect for northern and eastern Nova Scotia, with storms moving through the region. The warnings caution intense downpours could cause some flash flooding and localized flooding in certain areas, with water pooling up on roadways and particularly in low-lying areas. So people are being urged to watch for water pooling on roads and washouts near rivers, creeks, and culverts.
Alexander, not that Atlantic Canada needs more rain right now. Remind our viewers, what has this rainy season been like for Atlantic Canada so far?
Well, Deanna, this year has really been one of the worst for flash flooding in Atlantic Canada. Just one rainstorm after another. One extreme rainfall led by another, causing some devastating damage. Northwestern New Brunswick has seen significant damage, lots of road washouts, damages to homes and properties. Some of the worst has been in Nova Scotia. Just a little more, this rainstorm is coming just a little more than 2 weeks after historic flooding left 2 people dead and caused extensive damage to roads, power outages, and property. Last weekend alone, an extreme thunderstorm in the Halifax area brought what's typically a month's worth of rain in less than 24 hours. So crews are still working at this point in many parts of the region to repair damage from some of the past few storms. So at this point, with more heavy rain coming down, people in Nova Scotia and New Brunswick are really bracing for any possible impacts. The good news here is that this intense downpour is expected to fade fairly early on. We can expect it to switch back into calmer showers later this morning and in the early afternoon. Deanna?
Thanks so much, Alexander. That's the CBC's Alexander Silberman in Moncton.